Hey, we're here at the Micallef Cigar booth at the PCA 2025 Convention and Trade Show, New Orleans, brought to you by smallbatchcigar.com. We're getting ready to talk to Dan Thompson from Micallef. Stay tuned. We're here at the Micallef booth, PCA 2025, New Orleans. Dan Thompson, president, Micallef Cigars. Dan, how you doing, buddy? You're looking good.
It's about the Micallef momentum. That's what we're doing this year.
You have a lot of momentum. The purple just is been released. I know a lot of people got their hands on it that smoke in for the great smoke. Talk about the purple. Tell the people what they can look forward to.
So, 5 years ago, we made the big bet for the company. And the big bet is what you guys see as the color series now. The big bet is where we moved all of our tobacco growing from the fields in Nicaragua, where we grow for 4 years, to what we do in the San Andreas Valley with the Trent family. Pulling that in, processing all of our tobacco, has made possible the color series at $7 for Robusto, $8 for Toro. I start there because we released the red at the end of last year, which we didn't get to talk about at PCA. Every one of these cigars has had a bigger release than the previous. When I talk about momentum, nothing has slowed down the entire 2.5 years. Nothing. Everything continues to grow. The red is a San Andreas Habano with a broadleaf that we grow in Nicaragua. Now that is critical to understand the purple story. As some of you may know, the blue is a San Andreas Sumatra, so it's a very special varietal. In the purple, we bring that San Andreas Sumatra as the wrapper, like the blue. Then we use the same broadleaf binder that we use in the red that we grow in Nicaragua. And so the purple is the San Andreas Sumatra with the broadleaf binder, bringing blue and red together in a unique smoking experience.
Can I ask you about the thought process behind it? Because it seems like it's very deliberate.
Yes.
Going from black to blue to red to purple. It's very deliberate, but you're kind of, it sounds like, picking the best from each one and just moving the parts around in the cigar.
So I'm going to tell you the official story, and then I'm going to tell you what's really funny about the official story.
Okay.
Of course, we've had to invest for 2 or 3 years in our tobacco platform to make all of this possible, repackaging and everything that we've done. However, certain funny things happen. When we started the color series, black was going to be our initial launch, and it was going to be immediately followed by white. There's no white on this table yet.
I was going to say, where's the white?
So the world has a funny sense of reality, because the thing that I've learned in the cigar industry, the most important thing I've learned, is making a light cigar is more difficult than any of the others, because any failures or flaws that you have in it cannot be hidden.
I always say I judge a company off their Connecticut, and you already have a very good Connecticut.
The white is in the bag. It's already in production now. It will be released next PCA.
Oh, wow.
And it is effing fabulous.
Is it gonna replace the current Connecticut? Or is that Connecticut?
No, it's actually a totally different cigar.
It's totally different.
So in your question about the color series, every cigar has to stand out on its own as a unique flavor. We didn't want the blacks to taste like the blues or to taste like the reds. Well, we use, from a manufacturing perspective, tobaccos in our tobacco platform. Every one has its own unique characteristics. This fall, the ambassadors have been asking, and we will deliver the Matafina. There's a green box right there. It will be Micallef green. It's very special at the ambassador's request that we're able to build the Monofina, but we've done something special to it. Inside the binder is a San Andreas Negro.
Oh, wow.
So we will have brought the third varietal from San Andreas Valley. And if you know the history of tobacco in Mexico, San Andreas Negro goes back to the Aztecs and before. It's the native tobacco from the region. So we're having a great time. We're building cigars. We're honoring our ambassadors and our retailers. The momentum and velocity and how they're moving just has grown and grown and grown. And so we're very grateful for everybody who's become part of the Micallef family.
You have seen, dare I say, massive Micallef growth with the launch of the Color Series. It seems to have struck a chord, not just with your ambassador group, but with the cigar community as a whole.
What we've discovered is retailers who embrace it and don't think of it as like just a one-off thing that you put somewhere. They understand that consumers want value in what they're doing. They may choose two $18 cigars, but then if you can provide them 3 other cigars, they're leaving the shop with 6 cigars.
That's what you want.
And that's what they want. That's how we grow the industry. And we've watched as consumers who embrace it, whether it's some of the largest retailers in the country or some in little small towns across America, the velocity that it goes through their shops is what's making Micallef a win for the retailer and a win for the consumer.
All of your Color Series punches well above its price point.
Sure.
You know, $7 Toro or $7 Robusto, $8 Toro. And I know everyone's talking about tariffs like nobody cares, but are you afraid that that's going to...
I'll talk about tariffs.
Are you afraid that that's going to hurt the price per value? Because you have such a great price per value when it comes to these cigars. They literally smoke like $15, $16 cigars.
So there's a couple of key things to know. We own our own factory. Tariffs are based on the factory price of the cigar. I recently wrote up and shared with the ambassadors an example of a $4 cost on a factory cigar. I think it was 72 cents is what the tariff will be. And that cascades through the distribution system where wholesale and retail mark up on that amount. In our case, later this year, we have 1.5 million cigars in our warehouse in Texas right now. So we have moved things in to Texas
before the tariff.
And there's a trade-off. That means we paid more taxes than a lot of people.
Right.
Because you pay your taxes when you come through customs. So we will go through most of this year unadjusted. But when we do adjust, our factory cost is not $4.
No.
So that increment that goes up will be less than anybody else in the industry.
When you put that example out with the ambassador's $4, cost at the
Sure.
I'm like, who's making a $4 cigar at the factory? That's an expensive cigar at the factory.
You'd be surprised. I think there's a lot of cigars that are in that range.
Really?
Yeah, because a $4 cigar translates into, depending on how you mark it up further in your distribution channel, $13 to $18. And I see a lot of $13, $18 cigars.
Well, I see that too. I feel like $3.85, $3.90 is like that's close to the tippy top. Unless you're using really exotic tobacco.
I don't know because we handle it all in-house.
And you handle it all in-house, and there's such phenomenal blends. You've got to be very proud of where you guys have been and where you're at.
Our blends, there's a different experience in every color, but the quality and construction across anything we build, from the Tosadores to the Reserva to the Leyendas, I believe to be of the best quality in the industry. There's other people who have great quality, but consistently
I agree.
We deliver it.
You guys have been absolutely killing it the last few years, and I wish you can continued success. So the purple, if you guys haven't tried the purple, it's out now, right? It's coming.
The purple's out. You'll start to see it in shelves by the end of the month.
There you go.
Because your wonderful retailers are here, they're buying, we're packing and shipping.
And if your retailer isn't carrying Micallef, ask for it by name, Micallef Cigars. Join the ambassador program. They let me in. They'll let anybody in. And it's a fantastic group of people you've cultivated, and it's just a culture from top to bottom with everything Micallef has done in the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years. From where you've been to where you're at, I'm proud of you. You guys
Thank
should
you.
be proud. They're phenomenal cigars. Asked for by name, Micallef Cigars. Dan Thompson. Micallef, thank you very much, my friend. Very good to see you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate y'all.
Have a great show.